one last time. Woo! Alright, let's get chat over here so I can see that. I want to put chat on screen. So the official death counter is 90. That is the official death counter there, 90. So I think Assassin Queen was the one that got this right. So there may or may not be a prize. I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna put chat on screen here. Let me get this going. All right, so I started a local recording. We're gonna play some Mass Effect music in the background. This part of the VOD might be screwed, but I'm locally recording, so it's fine. We're gonna have various different Mass Effect sounds, various songs from the different Mass Effect soundtracks in the background here. So let's get that going and keep it low while we discuss some stuff here. Actually, you know what? Let me start that. That's not Mass Effect. Okay, here we go. This is on shuffle here. So we'll make the make it big here. And let me do a screen thing here. Window capture, I guess. We'll make this chat. That way people can see what chat's saying. Twitch, Google Chrome, I guess. Sub-region. Select region. No, that's actually fine right there. That's actually good. Okay. Put chat on screen here. How do I move my water bottle out of the way? Get out of here. Alright, we'll put chat like right here. Alright, and then I don't know. I guess I'll go to the wiki right now and we'll get that going there. So that way you can see this stuff here. Let's see. Wiki. Select region. I don't want all of that to be shown. I don't want you to see what kind of stuff I have on my toolbar there. It's fine. Okay. There we go. I might need to make this smaller. Put it above my head or something. There. Yeah, look at this professional stream right now. This is great. Alright. So I'm done editing that, so I don't need that anymore. Oh yeah, anybody name this track right now? Alright, let's see. We're gonna do some discussions here. Out of the way. Let's have chat open. Okay. Alright, that way y'all can see yourself. Alright, so let's see. What do we got up here? Actually, let me change the title too. Post-game discussion. That way people are like, what the heck? You're not playing the Mass Effects? You're banned. No, it's fine. Okay, so let's see. Veritoric says, let me say this. Synthesis is no better than being a husk. What's the difference? But yeah, gonna spend time looking up all the endings, says Remingtons. Morrigan says Shepard would never impose such a decision on the entire galaxy. So why do people not like Mass Effect 3 ending? Mothman says, the ending isn't as bad as everyone makes it out to be. I agree with that statement. And I gotta be honest, I don't know why people hate it. I never really looked into it. Is it the elusive man? Is it elusive man? Is it the breath at the end? Well, the breath at the end only happens if you get over that 3100 score. Otherwise, you don't get that. Big expectation, high expectation, that's why. I I think it lived up to it a little bit. You got what you wanted. You got the Reaper War. I mean, yeah, there might have been other different things that they could have done with that, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Moffat says, to be fair, the original ending before they added the extended cut was really short and didn't explain much. Yeah, I think part of that extended cut was kind of like, if you've ever played a Fallout game before, at the very end of the game, they show you, oh, this is what happened in this town and this person and stuff like that. I think that might have been part of the extended cut. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was that. Remington says, I'm only disappointed in not enough ways to accidentally kill companions. Like James, right? They fixed the ending and explained it better. It was horrible before. People who bought it at the beginning, like myself, hated the original ending. Remington says, I definitely think ME3 was the best of the three. Mothman agrees. Veritorix says, the original ending is something like the Normandy didn't come to rescue your teammates before going to the beam. Oh, I completely missed that then. You almost have no questions to ask the kid, and none of the post-ending of them telling you what happened when they picked the ending. All right, so the big thing there is probably the questions for the kid, right? So I mean, I could see that. It's been many years since I played the original ending, so I completely forgot about that. Jorinji says, I still think 1 was the best, but maybe it's a nostalgia of discovering the series. Dude, you're not wrong. Like, any of these 3 choices, in terms of the games, are fantastic. Morgan says, I like the second best. I think the ending is so badass. I kind of agree. It's hard for me to choose. But there's just something about the second game that, I don't know. I really enjoyed the second game. It's hard. It's a hard toss-up. I got so many feelings about all 3. Morrigan says it's definitely the best sci-fi game trilogy out there. Yeah, I agree. Shareji says you're going to take a week break. Probably a week break from Mass Effect. I don't know. I still kind of want to do some streaming in between. Because I feel like it's a mistake to not stream. So we might just be playing some other games. Maybe like Darkest Dungeon or Final Fantasy 14 or some other game. Okay, but I'm caught up with chat here now, it looks like. I don't have to scroll down anymore. Let's see. So is Shep stranded on some part of the Citadel? The Citadel blew up. That is true. So I guess he fell from the Citadel down to London, I guess, because the Citadel and the Crucible were above Earth, and I guess they crashed down. Robert says, Shep actually woke, but no one found him, and he starved to death. GG. Debris were clearly pieces of London's buildings, and here starts the discussion. Round 1, fight. It did look like London, yeah. Concrete doesn't exist in the Citadel. Mass Effect 3 really did live up to all of my expectations, says Remingtons, except for Elusive Man, but I never liked him anyway. Yeah, the Elusive Man is an interesting character. He's one of those where he's trying to do good, but in doing so, he just keeps messing up. He gets deeper into this power hunger stage where he wants to just control everything, and I don't know. It just snowballs to out of control, and then, of course, he gets indoctrinated by the Reapers, and he goes crazy. So, I feel bad for him, but I mean, I don't know. I think I liked Elusive Man more than James. I can say that for sure. Veritorix says, actually, Mike, you can only get the breath in the end only if you get 3,100 points and pick the destroy ending. Oh, okay. All right. I checked. There's no way you can get the breath ending unless you pick destroy. Okay. Confirmed. If you don't destroy the Crucible, they cut us to a scene of Liara's hologram and a beacon explaining the Reapers and the Crucible for future cycles. Ooh, really? Morrigan says there's no way he could fall from space and land Earth without dying. I think this is no issue here, right? I don't know. Oh no, sad music. Veritoric says no possible way. Shepard is not Superman. He's a normal human being. There's no possible way he could survive the center of the Citadel explosion and somehow crash into Earth and survive. He had to have gotten beamed down, just like he got beamed up, Scotty. Oh yeah. Well, that's convenient. When the Citadel exploded, yeah, maybe there was enough power for one last beam. Because it's clear that Anderson dies. I think he dies even before we go up there. Because we don't see him again. So we know that Joker lives, Liara lives, Garrus, Tally, James, Caden. I think that's it. Probably all the other people too, but I don't know. But the beam was way behind him. I don't know. I think it's possible. Let me put it this way. It's a sci-fi, so I mean anything can happen, and they don't really have to explain it. It just happens because it's sci-fi. But that's a good question. So anyways, let's go ahead and look at that ending here on the wiki. Because I want to see some different looking options here. The Citadel explodes because he shoots the thingy. Yeah, I mean, that is true. Mass Effect Galaxy, what is this? Is this a mobile game? Oh yeah, it's definitely a mobile game. Mobile game confirmed. Let's see. Priority Earth. Galaxy at War, that's the multiplayer. So when this game originally came out, if you didn't install they didn't have the extended cut, so the numbers to be successful, somewhat successful, were a lot higher, like double the numbers. So if you wanted to get a really good ending, you had to get like 6,200 or something like that. And so what they wanted you to do is play the multiplayer, because by playing the multiplayer, you do gain some war assets or something, if I recall. But when you put the extended cut, it halves that number, and it makes it a little bit easier to do things, because the number that they had set out was like ridiculous. Take out the AA battery, locate the cane, yeah. Meet with Anderson. It's pretty crazy. First the conduit. What do we got here? Citadel explodes in all 3 endings, says Mothman. Yes, after he interacts with the thingies. So he has no time to run all the way back. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard to figure any sort of way that explains how Shepard ends up in rubble back on Earth. I don't know. I guess it's just open to interpretation, I guess. Mava says run back where? I think Morrigan is referring to the beam area, because if you remember correctly, the beam was like all the way back. Like we go down that elevator and then we got to go all the way back there. But yeah, I don't know. Rummington says, random question, favorite characters for everyone. I was actually gonna ask that myself at some point, but we'll go ahead and do it now. Yeah, what is everybody's favorite characters? Maybe maybe like your favorite characters from Mass Effect 1, and then new characters that were in 2 and 3. Although there really wasn't a new character in the third game except for Javik, pretty much. So I don't know. I still think Garrus and Rex probably my two favorites. But before I go on, all these characters are great. It's hard to pick. Garrus, Rex, Miranda was very interesting. Joker's awesome. They're all super amazing. Maybe you should look up the Indoctrination Theory, Mike. Oh, that's good. Yeah, we should probably look at that. Because I know some people wanted to discuss that, and I know nothing about it. So, Anderson got beamed up someplace else. Maybe it doesn't matter where you are. That is true. There is no, there's no exact location. Starting point, which was where the beam was. There's got to be like... maybe that beam... yeah, it takes you up to the Citadel, but where it puts you is random. So maybe where it drops you in different parts inside the Citadel are ways to get back down, but where we were up in the top, there was no beam as far as I know. Let's see, Veritoric says, let me say this then. How did Anderson get ahead when we didn't see him at all go in the beam? Even in the beginning, before going in the beam, he ordered a retreat. There was only one point into the command center of the Citadel, and he said something suspicious. See, something like, that's weird. Didn't he say the place where the walls were shifting? Even though we saw nothing like that. I think he was referring to the chasm. Because remember, we were walking on the bridge that was by the chasm, and looking to our left and our right, there were things moving up and down. So I think that's what he was referring to. Remington says they were all being indoctrinated seeing things. But they're not indoctrinated because of the eyes. I don't know. I don't think they were indoctrinated at all. Well, except like when the Elusive Man showed up and he was doing stuff with Anderson and Shepard. Kind of showing him that he can control a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's something that isn't explained. Maybe there's something with like being too close to the Reaper or being too close to the beam up to the Citadel. Maybe that makes you see things. I don't know. Veritork says, I have to say that Shep isn't fully indoctrinated. He is fighting. Yeah. But he definitely was in like the stasis mode when the Elusive Man appeared. Anyways, let's keep scrolling through this here. This song I'm sure is going to meet the VOD, even though it is low, but it's fine. If you have the extended cut installed, you will witness the survival or deaths of the squad mates you brought with you depending on your war asset rating. One indication they'll die is if during the initial space battle at the beginning of the mission, all allied ships are prominently shown being beaten by the Reapers. If they survive, you get an emotional farewell. Dude, I can't believe Javik, man. He got like messed up. It's because cutscene is over. All that. For the extended cut, the final Marauder's shields are depleted. Makes it slightly easy to kill. No, he had shields, I thought. Well, it says partially depleted, so yeah, never mind. He had some shields, like it says here, partially. I thought it was kind of funny that there was a keeper just going through human remains. The Elusive Man. Okay, so now when I was doing the Elusive Man conversation the first time that I played this game, I wasn't able to use all the Paragon options, so I didn't get to see the moment where he realizes he's indoctrinated and then he commits suicide. But I think that's how it always happens, though. If the conversation option is unavailable, then a renegade interrupt is the only way to avoid critical mission failure. The threat option will offer one renegade interrupt, non-reputation. There you go. So you have to do some interrupts in order to not get game over. Aftermath. Do the following section, extended cut. It's crazy. What do you think enough? There are solutions to that ending. Morgan says, okay, if you shoot the kid, he shows you who really is Harbinger. Who he really is Harbinger? I kind of want to see that ending. I can't play the... If I search it on YouTube, I can't play it on stream. I don't want to get in trouble. Moffat says, if he was Harbinger, why would he even invite Shep up to that room where Shep could kill all the Reapers? Because I don't think he ultimately wanted to kill anyone. He was wanting to see if organics and synthetics could, you know, join together and end this cycle, because he's probably seen it multiple times. I don't know. Elusive Man just felt like worse Saren to me. Was Remington's. Morgan says, so from the moment Shep gets hit by the beam, it could all be happening in his head. It could be Harbinger's final attempt to indoctrinate him. He wants Shepard, he always said it, especially in the second game. Yeah, he did. I feel like they set him up as a character in Mass Effect 2 and they didn't know what to do with him, says Remington's. I could see that. I mean, like, they needed to throw in a character that maybe explains, like, why they rebuilt Shepard or whatever. But I don't know. I don't think the Elusive Man was that bad of a character, though. But definitely not on... I don't think he's better than Saren. The Crucible worked. The Reapers are dead. That's how all the proof... That's all the proof you need to know it was in his head. That is true. There is a point there. Morgan says, in the synthesis and control ending, Shep eyes become like the ones of the Elusive Man and Saren, so he gives in. The 3 blue dot eyes. It shows that you are fully indoctrinated. Ooh. So I noticed the eyes like that when we first met the Elusive Man in Mass Effect 2. Did he have 3 dots at that time? I don't know. But I always wanted to say stuff about that, but I just refuse to say stuff for people that haven't seen it. The part of the Normandy on the planet is cataloged in the game's files by the developers as dream sequence. How would you explain that? Interesting. The plot thickens. Also, it's very suspicious how the Elusive Man got into the Citadel. Yeah, like... I don't know. Mama says because he went straight there after he got the Prothean VI. He left the base before we even got there. Man. I want to know how he got on the Citadel and, like, bypass all those people. And how he got inside. I don't know. Alright, Shirenji. We'll see you next time, bud. Thanks for hanging out. They're definitely good questions, though, guys. Very good points are being made on all the sides. Stargazer. Now, I think the voice of Stargazer was an actual astronaut. I think. Buzz Aldrin, yeah. Buzz Aldrin, man. Astronaut. He was one of the first 2 humans to land on the moon and the second person to walk on it. This is the part where someone in chat's like, the moon landing is not real. The Stargazer was an actual astronaut in IRL. God, this is crazy, man. The Crucible, design, modern construction. Activation. Hurry Earth. Trivia. Does it explain how he got past all the Reapers and everything? Well, the Reapers are probably like, oh, the Elusive Man's cool, it's fine, but I don't know. Yeah, Reapers were working with him, says Remington's. The Prothean VI even said that he left for the Citadel. It was still in the Citadel space at the time. Yeah, I remember that for sure. He was indoctrinated, he helped the Reapers, and he told them of our plans. Veritorix says, want to know something funny? You guys remember what the command center and the Citadel look like? The command center? Yeah, I think the map layout is like a Reaper, right? It looks nothing like in Mass Effect 3. Wait, command center on the Citadel? Oh, are you talking about the like the inside of the Citadel? Are confused. Maybe it blew up and got rebuilt, end of Mass Effect 1, Cerberus attack in 3. There's so many holes in this indoctrination theory. So Veritorix and Morrigan support this indoctrination theory, which I have yet to still look up, but I need to do that. It's 100% different. Why completely rebuild to something so different? And they also built the Shadow Broker power plant or whatever it is. They look nothing the same at all. Infinite bullets since he gets hit. Since he gets up after being hit by the beam. Alright, let's look up this indoctrination theory. Indoctrination theory, Mass Effect. The group of people in the latter category most likely believe in the indoctrination theory. Simply put, that it postulates that the ending sequence after Harbinger attacks Shepard is merely a figment of Shepard's mind, and this is where the remainder of the game takes place. Okay. Oh yeah, weed. Yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. If you don't believe the indoctrination theory, at least read this relatively short post. Relatively short? I mean, kind of is. Can we zoom in on this here? Zoom in on this a little bit here. The indoctrination theory is a video on YouTube. Yeah, but I'm not going to show it because I don't want to get in trouble. I can't show someone else's content. Did you guys know that the Earth is flat and the moon is a hologram? I can see the theory up until the end slides. They're not from Shep's perspective. Mass Effect 3 ended in a very unorthodox fashion. Plot holes, no final boss fights, anticlimactic, nonsensical, you name it. Regardless, some hated it, some loved it. I thought it was fine. The group of people in the latter most likely believe in the indoctrination theory. The people that love it? Well, I don't know. I don't know what the IT is. Needless to say, this has been overanalyzed to the point of absurdity. Every little detail has been picked apart by the loyal fan base attempting to bring more hints into the light. This is all fine and dandy, but I feel as though the initial message was lost. Not just the IT, but the message BioWare wanted to get across. Now, these are not my opinions. This is some guy on the wiki, Away or AFK, from 2012. So that's the thing. That's this guy's opinions. Why is this all messed up? So we didn't really give IT a chance. People just complained right off the bat. Who knows what BioWare had planned? Just like how they tweaked the script after it was leaked. What? I guess that's referring to the extended cut. This demand for an extended cut probably threw a wrench in the works. Also, people don't know that the EC was made by a different team. Oh, really? Extended cut was made by a different team than made the original ending. I fear the ending theme of surreal, dreamlike indoctrination attempts may become literal space magic showcases. Soon after Shepard gets hit by Harbinger, he's unconscious, maybe near death, and weak-minded. Everything that follows is a subconscious struggle to get him to submit to indoctrination. This guy who wrote this personally believes the hallucination begins after Jet passes out the second time, but I'll get to that in a sec. Anderson and Elusive Man supposedly each represent a side of Shepard's psyche. Oh, so like Angel and Devil then. Well, he must choose between them. The scene is beautiful because Shep overcomes or dies. After this scene, the true test presents itself. Shepard, after watching Anderson die, crawls towards the main control panel but passes out a few inches short. I know that some people believe this is when Shepard goes unconscious. Whatever the case, this is where the indoctrination theory shines. Keep the following points in mind. And there's points there. What's chat saying? The destroy ending alone disproves the whole theory. I'm so against conspiracy theories. This is different though. I think it would be a better ending. You know, Superman, Shep messes with my head, says Morgan. Remington says, so it all being in his head and Reapers wiping out the galaxy is the better ending? I can't explain everything. That's because that's a lot. Let me ask this. Morgan says, in that case, the ending would be really bad though. I mean, writing. Joker, after a crash like that walks so well when he can barely dance. Why is there armor from Kaden and Ashley in Mass Effect 1 horrible texture behind the Mako before you go to the beams? I must have missed that then. Why is there armor from Kaden and Ashley from Mass Effect 1 in horrible textures behind the Mako before you go to the beams? I missed that. There's no armor like that in Mass Effect 2 or 3. Like mass bodies with the people wearing armor. Easter egg? Okay, one more thing. In the dialogue text in the game, when Anderson is talking in the text, it clearly states and everything. Anderson says was directed to Commander Shepard, not Elusive Man. Moffat says, like Rum said, the destroy ending shows the Reapers being destroyed. That is not from Shepard's perspective. It's happening, not illusion. Yeah. And then Morrigan asks, how do you know that? Well, let's keep reading this indoctrination theory here. So these are the points that they want us to keep in mind here. The dream sequence, little boy, obvious symbolism throughout the game, taking place in Shepard's subconscious. That's true, we're dreaming at that point. The boy, who may or not actually exist in the present, is present in the dreams, always being enveloped in flames. Then in the final dream, we see Shepard with the boy also being enveloped. Come on, people, don't trust the kid. The appearance of the catalyst implies this heavily. Why else look at the kid? No point. Just make him look like glyph. Nope, symbolism, people. What? What is his point about this? I'm totally missing this dude's point on this one. Is he saying that these are points that are supporting that Shepard was like dreaming or something? Shepard's eyes, if synthesis or control is chosen at the end, Shepard's eyes are shown to have indoctrinated eyes. Like the Elusive Man or Saren. Ironically, these two antagonists support control and synthesis respectively. There you go. Reverse moral colors. This is a subtle yet effective clue that the Reapers are trying to play on Shepard's morals. Destroy, the only reasonable choice, is colored red, the renegade choice, while the two other choices are virtuous and best. Strange, surreal details. These plot holes are actually signs that indoctrination theory isn't too far off. The lesser of all the options of proof. The lesser of all the points of proof. This point still matters nonetheless. Breathe scene. Or breath, rather. This is the most important point in the indoctrination theory, in my opinion. There is no reason to include this scene otherwise. The devs also didn't omit this with the extended cut, so it was meant to be there. For whatever reason, they may be, or that may be. Now, the post-decision scenes are shown, which are continued fabrications of Shepard's mind. The extended cut goes into these details on these choices. Still, Reaper hallucination. If Shepard chooses controller synthesis, he gets nothing. Original ending. In the extended cut, he believes he made the best choice for the galaxy with unrealistic consequences. These two choices, regardless of outcome, go against everything he has been fighting for the whole series. Yep, that's why those choices don't make sense. If you destroy, you get dead Reapers and no real benefits. EMS score changes this. Low makes everyone die, and high makes the infamous breath scene. Or breed scene. Be shown right before the credits. Shepard was stressed because he knew he would fail, or breathes his first or last breath. High. It feels like the vanilla could have been, but extended cut disproves it. Veritorix says, how about this? When Commander Shepard shot Anderson, Commander Shepard started bleeding on his left side where he shot Anderson. That Marauder that shot you before you went to the beam shot you in the right shoulder. After Anderson dies, he came in that Commander Shepard was bleeding where he shot Anderson. The cam zooms in. Yeah. From what injury? The beam. I just there. Morrigan says, it means that the dream you have where you burn with the kid if you reach him is Shepard's subconscious telling him not to trust the boy. Ah, okay. Thank you for making that clear. Moffat says he was holding his left side before he even got shot by the Marauder. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because he does shoot him in the left side, and then he does have a wound on the left side. Shepard does. He got knocked out, remember? The entire time before he reaches the beam, as well as after, he is slumped to the left and limping. Again, the plot thickens. Okay, last point of things here. This type of thing has been done before in many ways. Examples of this thing in other media. Halo 3. Beating legendary... What is this? Post-credits. Master Chief and Cortana, who are both presumed dead post-campaign. Huh. Oh, this guy's just like comparing other things. Huh. Indoctrination Theory. Oh wow, there's a goddamn website for this. Are you kidding me? Welcome to Mass Effect Indoctrination. You're about to be indoctrinated. Wow, okay. Damn, there's a website for this and all. Don't look at that. Andromeda. Pre-extended cut analysis, post quotes. Holy crap, this is a lot of stuff. The Indoctrination Theory. What is indoctrination? The boy as the catalyst. BioWare put a lot of effort into making the presence of this boy in the game important. Shepard watching him through the window in the opening scenes of the game, then after his death during the Reaper invasion. Yep. These dreams included ghostly presence made of oily shadows, and voices can be heard whispering that at times sound rather alien. The Codex mentions hallucinations of ghostly presence and alien voices as an effect of the indoctrination. The Rachni Queen mentions oily shadows as an effect. Oh. Tinfoil hat for sale? That burning with the kid scene is probably the most controversial bit for me. He's holding the gun. You don't see him hurt the other side. Alosa was only his fear to fail and die like the kid did back on Earth. Why does he have nightmares about him just as a kid? Even if, however, you play the game, people died in his life. More than just the kid, and he didn't have a nightmare about them. Just that single kid he knew nothing about. Indoctrination Theory was true. The developers would have addressed it, enough said. Morgan says, yeah, well, it could be anything. It's just opinions here, and that's why people don't like the ending, I guess. It's because it's confusing and too much open for interpretation. Yeah, it's like the easy way out with games. Like, oh, well, it's whatever you want it to be. I'd rather you just, like, give me, like, this is the ending and this is why. Remington says, well, he saw the kid die the day the Reapers hit Earth, and he tried to save him in the vents, but the kid ran away. It's easily guilt, fear cocktail. Maybe they were trying to indoctrinate you too, Moth. I'm pretty sure you two are already indoctrinated, says Mothman. Well, Shepard didn't have nightmare when you choose Sole Survivor in Mass Effect 1. If you have half your team die in Mass Effect 2, he didn't have the nightmare. Oh. Interesting. Well, I feel like we could talk about this indoctrination theory for a long time. I'm going to have to look some of this stuff up on my own time for sure. This is crazy though. I mean, look at how deep this stuff goes. Like, who freaking does this? There's trees that reflect on the thing. The best counter argument. BioWare made a mistake. These trees are there by accidents. Maybe originally the Guardian's Garden. The choices. Control. Synthesis, destroy. So we have two choices that keep the Reapers alive, and there are also known as arguments the Reapers have used to slowly and subtly indoctrinate beings in the past. While the final choice destroys the Reapers, the argument that this is an attempt at indoctrination and that Shepard's only resistance to the indoctrination is to destroy seems pretty strong. Also, the Catalyst does his best to paint the destroy option in the worst light. He does, yeah. He makes it sound like it's the worst thing. Not only will the cycle continue, but we'll be doomed to repeat our mistakes and be destroyed by synthetic life in the long run. But it will kill all synthetic life existing now. Genocide against Geth and killing ED2. And not only that, he ups the ante even more by saying Shepard is partially synthetic, strongly implying that Shepard will die along with anyone else that has synthetic implants. However, we know the fact that the Catalyst is lying here. Not only can Shepard survive with enough EMS, but it has been claimed by many that EDI can emerge from the Normandy. Also, if this is not strong evidence of these two choices represent some sort of form of indoctrination attempt, then why is it that only with the destroy option can Shepard live? That is true. The best counter argument, counter arguments. Jesus Christ. Ooh. This post-game discussion, man, I love this stuff. I feel like Mass Effect is like one of the only games that you can have really like all these discussions in chat. You know, I'm reading stuff up. This is one of those games where it's just like, it's one of the few you can do that with. Yeah, the kid is more... That kid is more important than our teammate. Maybe the hand of God or Satan, because why not? Picked him up from the Citadel and put him back down on Earth. We just didn't see it, says Morgan. I like that. Harvard says, maybe Harbingers sent him down because he helped him find a solution. You know what it was, guys? You're going to have your minds blown right now. Leviathan. Leviathan saw Shepard. He destroyed the Reapers. They're like, okay, guys, he did it. Let's beam him down to Earth. Leviathan save Shepard. That's it. Case closed. No other opinions matter. I'm just kidding. I don't know. That seems... no one talked about Leviathan, so maybe that's a thing. Because they do have interesting powers. And there might have been other things that they were hiding from us. Reapers don't feel they're machines. If the solution works for their goals, why not? Twist it any way you want. We could make a better ending, that's for sure. Veritorix says, this is what I believe. You control, you're indoctrinated. You pick synthesis, you turn into husk. You pick destroy, you broke up from the indoctrination. Or woke up from the indoctrination. Lava says, the intelligence is Leviathan technology and can read minds. Odds are he noticed the significance of the kid for Shepard, hence making itself in that form. While he gives Shepard a choice, it owns self preservation as trying to steer Shepard towards any option that doesn't destroy itself. Veritorix says, I find it weird that intelligence always say to themselves as us when he talks about the Reapers. Interesting. If the destroy is the best ending and the other two options are giving in to indoctrination, why is it that that destroy option is the only option you get with very low EMS, even though Shepard cannot live with such low EMS? Would it not make more sense? Wouldn't it make more sense that Shepard should be able to resist indoctrination? Counter arguments. The breath. If Shepard is waking up on the Citadel... One version of the indoctrination theory argues that Shepard is actually waking up in London after surviving Harbinger's lasers and having dreamt, hallucinated everything else as part of the heightened indoctrination brought by Harbinger's presence. I will say, I believe 100% he was back down on London. How he got there, if he ever left there, it's up in the air for me. Shepard wakes up in London, then it seems logical that Shepard was never on the Citadel, and that he was a dream, that it was a dream hallucination. And we see the Citadel explode. If it's supposed to be the Citadel, then how the hell are we supposed to believe Shepard survived that? Which is what Morrigan was saying. How does Shep survive this? The best counter argument. The cables in the Citadel decision chamber look very much like what is claimed to be by Rebar. Cables in London or Rebar? As someone used a hack on the PC version to activate a fly cam in the decision chamber that was able to identify not only similar cables but something that has grooves. There's a strong resemblance to the grooves. That video here. What is this? Not concrete rock that's in front of that. It looks like something else that would be found on the Citadel. Maybe it's part of the Alliance vehicles that charge the beam. Beam structure? The heck was that? Thought that was a whale. Yada. Wow, this is crazy. This is a whole bunch of stuffs here. What is this? Is this the gun thing? Clutching his wound. The gun he takes is not Anderson's gun. Shepard appears to have that. Anderson does not appear to have a gun anywhere upon him in an earlier scene. Elusive man. Maybe the elusive man brought the gun himself. Well, he does not appear to have a gun at any other time in the scene, and nowhere to hide it either. Interestingly, the gun the elusive man produces from the who knows where is a Predator model. The very same model Saren used when Shepard was able to convince him to shoot himself. Coincidence? Finally, either Shepard shoots the elusive man or convinces him to shoot himself. Either before or after the elusive man shoots Anderson. After chat with Anderson appears to die, Shepard looks down to appear to have a wound bleeding profusely in the same place that Anderson was shot. If there is no relevance, then why show it? Huh. Interesting stuff. What do we got here? He even mentions that synthesis is the next stage of evolution, which is a trick. And he's turning you into a husk. Still shows that it sways to pick the other choices than destroy. Bobman says, you know what really blows though? The mass relays are destroyed and they don't know how to rebuild them. Yeah, because the Reapers created the mass relays. So unless Leviathan wants to help out, I don't know. People are gonna just gonna be forever for people to go through. Different clusters. If the mass relays are destroyed, then the other races can't go back home. For the vast majority of systems are going to be stranded. FTL flight is still slow. The end slides said the damage was minor and fixable. Oh, that is true. Admiral Hackett did say that they could be fixed. Whether or not they could do it, I don't know. Minor, even if it was, I didn't remember any way they knew how to make or fix Prothean mass relays. Well, Javik survived, so maybe he can help him out. But I thought the mass relays were the Reapers thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting mixed up. Maybe I'm thinking of the Citadel. Well, anyways. Very interesting things. Mass relays are not Protheans, the Reapers built them. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. There's so much lore, there's so much knowledge here, it's like, it's easy to get turned around. Is Major Coates simply unable to see Shepard and Anderson still stumbling towards the beam? The plot holes, strangeness, and illogical story elements. Wow, that body animation there. Terrible looking there. Remington says, what if the indoctrination theory is correct and devs don't address it because the Reapers are... What the heck? Fight without hope. I don't have that song on that. I don't know, man. that was like a different looking When your music ends, we continue playing similar songs for you. You can turn this off in settings. Okay, Spotify. I didn't ask you to do that, but alright. The indoctrination theory is correct. The devs don't address it because the Reapers are going to appear in Andromeda 2 and sweep that galaxy. Mind blown. Ooh. I wish they released a 30-minute video of the crew coming back to Earth and everyone discovering Shepard. That we didn't have to pay for. This is Mothman. Dude, I agree, man. That would have been sick. No work today, Mike. You usually have to get off by this time. Yeah, I know. Usually on a Thursday, on Tuesdays and Thursday, I go in earlier, but I haven't got a message yet. So I feel like we need to do this though. Just, you know, spend some time. We've already at 5 hours of stream, so we've been talking about this for like almost an hour, I think. But we'll probably be wrapping up here. It seems like the discussions have, for the most part, kind of died down a little bit. Maybe the indoctrination theory is true, and the writers wanted to indoctrinate not only Shepard and the players. The point of indoctrination is that you don't know what's happening. Ooh. Yeah, there's so many different angles you could look at this. Ashley. I know, man. The game was interesting with Caden around, though. But yeah, that's a lot of stuff there. That's a bunch of stuff. Trivia. The mission begins on the left bank of the River Thames. When you talk to Liara for the last time before seeing Anderson, the caption reads, your consciousness, instead of mine and your consciousness. A source of consciousness. The indoctrination theory. What else did I want to look at? Let me fix this here. We could look up indoctrinated. Indoctrinated, Reaper indoctrination. Saren Arterius. Man. Dude. Knowing what we know now and it's like fresh in my mind, like I wouldn't mind playing Mass Effect 1 again and just like seeing all the little clues that lead up to what happens in 3. Leviathan enthrallment. Leviathan were able to exert control over organic species by directing faster than light pulses to their many organic obsolete artifacts scattered throughout the galaxy. They were able to communicate, control organics, and observe the galaxy. Unlike Reaper indoctrination, this method does not cause long-term mental damage aside from the enthrallment individuals having no memory of the event. For example, the miners on Mojave were enthralled for a period of 10 years and didn't realize any time had passed since their enthrallment began. However, Leviathans were able to put Dr. Garrett Bryson's assistant, Derek Hadley, in a vegetative state through their abilities. Leviathan, confronted by Commander Shepard, notes that this enthrallment was the basis for Reaper indoctrination. There we go. There's our answer there. Moffat said, there's probably so many people on Earth who live in secluded areas with no internet who have no idea that their planet was almost completely wiped out. They're just chilling on the beach or in the woods. Yeah, man, for sure. Morrigan says, I was hoping to see Shep come out of those cryopods in Mass Effect Andromeda. So hoping. I haven't played Andromeda, so I can't say much. Mass Effect is just prequel to Fallout, says Remingtons. Somebody with a very fast ship who can catch up to the Hyperion, maybe. Veritoric says, so do you like the indoctrination theory? Pretty interesting, huh? It's definitely interesting, for sure. The I probably need to spend more time with it and check stuff out. But for the most part, it's interesting. There's some things where I'm like, yeah, maybe, yeah. I mean, I definitely 100% support that Shepard is definitely back on Earth afterwards. So how he got there, who freaking knows? But yeah, that's it's very interesting. So let's go ahead and remove that. We'll keep chat on the screen for right now. Man, this is crazy. This is absolutely fantastic, though. So we've discussed the theory, we've discussed opinions and stuff like that. I think everyone here is in agreement that Mass Effect 3 ending was not as bad as a lot of people said it was. And then we kind of picked a little bit of our favorite games. I don't know. It's hard for me to choose which Mass Effect is my favorite, because they all are overarching in the stories and stuff like that. Mass Effect 1 is slow compared to the other ones, but that's to be expected because this is the first time you're learning about this world and this universe, and you get so much lore and characters and information thrown at you that it's overwhelming at times. But it's needed, because without that, 2 and 3 are not as impactful if you don't have that information. So, I don't know. It's hard for me to choose. Do you like when you meet all these characters in Mass Effect 1? Do you like the bridge that connects 1 to 3? Or do you like 3 and seeing all the relationships that you built up throughout the previous games and seeing it all come to an end? It's hard to choose. There's definitely not a wrong option for sure. That was interesting. So I think this was asked earlier by Remingtons, but I don't remember seeing anybody answer it except for myself. But who were your favorite characters in the Mass Effect trilogy here? There's got to be some favorites. Favorite characters, favorite romances, depending on if you played male Shep or femme Shep. I must know. And Paragon or Renegade. Moffat says, someone told me that there is actually some kind of tie-in from this series into Andromeda, but I don't know the significance, and I didn't ask for spoilers. Yeah, I don't know too much about Andromeda. I do know that it takes place in a different galaxy, a different timeline. They're not going to be mentioning the characters from the trilogy. You won't hear Shepard, you won't hear Garrus, anybody like that. You probably won't even hear about Reapers, but that's as far as I know. And that information was like from years ago, so I don't know anything else about that. Let's see. Remington says, I think Mass Effect 2 has best and worst moments, both. Which I like 3 more. They're also damn good. Yeah, man. For sure. Veritorix says, I think my favorite is 2 and 3. And then we've got some responses to the favorite characters. Veritorix says Garrus and Tali. Wafa says Rex, Garrus, Javik, Joker. Dude, those are all good options. 100% support that. Are you sure, Mike? You'll see. Yeah, I'm super excited to jump into a brand new Mass Effect game. Now, the reason we're not going to start it early, let's lower that down a little bit. The reason I don't want to jump into that game like tomorrow or like Monday or something. I don't know when we'll start Mass Effect Andromeda. Looking at the calendar here, maybe we start it next Wednesday or Wednesday, May the 10th, or I don't know. But there's definitely a lot I don't know about Andromeda, so I'm going to be jumping into that, not knowing anything, blind playthrough, not going to know what to expect, so I'm looking forward to it. But I don't want to start Andromeda right away, because we're on that high right now of the trilogy. And the trilogy's so good. The story is amazing. The characters are great. I feel like if we jumped into Andromeda tomorrow, we would be comparing all day to they did this better in the trilogy, or this character is trying to be this character, or I don't know. It's going to be comparing. We're still going to do that regardless. But we have to go into Andromeda kind of clear-headed a little bit and not try and think, oh, it's the continuation of the trilogy. It's basically like, hey, this Mass Effect is brand new. This is the first game in the series. That's how we have to treat it. So, it's interesting. You know something? We might not be arguing about all these theories if EA didn't rush BioWare with Mass Effect 3. That is true, yeah. I hate it when they have to rush games. It's ridiculous. Remington says, Tally. Quarian backstory was the most interesting bit. Morden, most unique character. Jack, most believable character. Those are some good choices and good reasonings behind that, Remingtons. I loved Morden, but I almost never took him on missions. He barely had any health. Yeah, I mean, he was a scientist. Same thing with Tally as well. Tally was an engineer. Not too much health there. I usually only brought Garrus and Tally with me. I barely brought anyone else. Brought Rex and Grunt on almost every mission in the first 2 games. In the first 2 games? Grunt was in Mass Effect 1? I think you mean Garrus, I think. You're good, though. I understand. So... Oh, man. I didn't even see how many hours we put into this game. Is there a way to check? Hang on. We're about to wrap up this discussion. Because I know it's late for a lot of Europeans, and I probably got to get ready to go to work soon. I want to see my saved games. Does it tell me how many hours? No, it's not going to tell me how many hours. 143 saves, though. Pretty dope. Oh yeah, the stats. I forgot about the stats. Remingtons, if you would be so kind to share the stats. We've taken stats on how many times I died by grenades, how many times I said I'm dead, who our companions, most used companions were, all that stuff. The stats, man, I forgot about that. There were a total of 5 grenade deaths. I felt like there should have been more. That's too low. 82 hours, you think? Okay, 82 hours is what it is. Man, that's really... Alright, Morgan. We'll see you next time. I don't know when we're starting Andromeda, but I do plan on streaming maybe a little bit tomorrow and next week sometime, so... Be sure to stop on by and we can give you the latest Andromeda update, but I gotta think about that first, so... But awesome to have you here. Everyone else that joined us for this entire Mass Effect playthrough. It's been amazing. Man, I can't believe it's done. It took us about 3 months to do, and 100%ed Mass Effect 1, 100%ed Mass Effect 2, 99%ed Mass Effect 3 because of a couch. So, that's a thing. Alright, so here we go. Companions. James we used twice. Caden we used twice. Wow. Wow. Rex we used twice for the DLC. I feel like Caden should have been used like 3 times. Garrus was 8 times, Tally was 8, Edie was 9, Javik was 15, and Liara was 15. Ooh. Wow. That's crazy. I can't believe Javik and Liara were tied. That's interesting. That's the stat. Them's the stats, man. And I did this 100% except for Omega and Leviathan in 42 hours. God, I play my game so slow, man. I see play it so slow. Everybody says, and turning around and running away yelling, I'm dead, I noted 25. There you go. See you guys, and you'll be indoctrinated by the BioWare's writers. Alright, chat. I think this is gonna finish up the stream here. first and foremost, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys had fun. I had so much fun sharing this experience with you guys. Some were watching this for the first time. Some have played this many times and just enjoy it so much that they decided to keep on watching our adventures in space. So I thank each and every one of you for stopping on by, even if you only watch like 10 minutes. Thanks anyway. So the next game that we're doing is going to be Andromeda for sure. I just don't know when we're actually going to start that. It might be next week sometime. It might be later. I don't know. But I do plan on maybe streaming something tomorrow and kind of, you know, taking our mind off Mass Effect for a little bit. I don't want to have too much time pass, but I want a little bit of break from what we just did in starting Andromeda, because when we start Andromeda, it's going to feel like Mass Effect 1. We're going to be overwhelmed with a bunch of stuff, I'm sure. So maybe a couple of days off and playing something else might do the trick. So I don't know. We'll see. But thank you for watching. All of this will be available on YouTube at some point in the future, eventually. And then, yeah. So Andromeda's next game. Just don't know when we're going to start that. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of the day. And we'll see you next time.